Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, which is all about income-oriented investing, how to generate passive income from a diversified portfolio of high-yield funds to reach financial freedom as soon as possible. And once again, it's your favorite video. It's time to unveil and review my entire portfolio from A to Z. So if you're watching this video, make sure you're watching the latest portfolio update. This is update number 22 for February of 2023. I have a YouTube playlist, don't forget, dedicated to all my portfolio unveiled videos. Very easy to find it. You click on the name of my channel, then playlists, and find that specific playlist where, if you want, you could see them all in order and view my progress. Now, a quick note about my investing style. In case you're new here, I am a long-term buy and hold income focused or income oriented investor. So the primary objective of this strategy is to, of course, generate high and consistent passive income every single month as safely and consistently as possible, so I can live comfortably off my dividend. So most, if not all, my returns, everyone, does not come from capital appreciation, buying low and selling high, or stock price increase, right? It comes from the income that my portfolio generates on a monthly basis. So how do I achieve this? Well, my portfolio primarily holds funds that invest in blue chip dividend stocks or an index, and uses income enhancing strategies like covered calls, like leverage, and most of the time both. So they provide fairly consistent high income, and the intent is really to hold them, not to trade them or sell them later for a profit, but to simply collect the passive income forever. So what will I show you in this video? Well, I will quickly show you an overview of my 6 investing accounts using Passiv, a cool little portfolio tracking tool that consolidates all my investing accounts in one place, so you could quickly see. It's very easy to digest, and it's really to prove to you that all the numbers in my video title and my thumbnail are 100% legit. But after that, we'll go through the accounts and the portfolios in Excel, so it's much easier to digest, and I will show you everything, including what I hold, percentages, my book cost, yields, etc. And don't forget, everyone, you could download the spreadsheet for free, what I'm going to show you for free, on my website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca. Just click on free tools at the top and it will be the very first download. So without further ado, let's check out how my portfolio is doing for February 2023. I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Hamilton ETFs, the creator of the very first enhanced all-in-one covered call ETF. Of course, I'm talking about HDIV, which is currently beating the TSX 60 or the overall Canadian market by over 4%. So it's doing very well. They also have a US equivalent, HYLD, which is also another enhanced covered call or all-in-one covered call solution. And they have other enhanced ETFs as well, including HCAL, the top performing Canadian banks ETF. So make sure to check out their funds on their website, hamiltonetfs.com. All right, everyone, as usual, we'll start off with my overview, bird's eye view, using Passiv, a neat little tool that consolidates all your accounts and you could see everything. I'll discuss a few features of Passiv, which I really like, in a second here. So as you all know, this is the dashboard. So this is the total value of my investments right now at 2:34 p.m. on February 23rd. And I kid you not, I was at 1.15 million just 3 days ago, but unfortunately in the last couple of days the market has taken the tumble, so obviously it's down a little bit here. Not that I really care, it makes no difference to me. And of course the breakdown, I broke it down in 2 sections. My main portfolio, which total value is 659, and that includes our 2 TFSA accounts and our joint cash account. So that is the main portfolio, and then the retirement accounts consists of my RSP, my wife's RSP, and of course my LIRA. So that's how I separated it basically here in Passiv. So this is a great way, or a great tool, which you could see exactly what your main portfolio is worth and put different accounts under a certain heading here, which is great. So total guys, just under 1.1 million here. Like I said, it was a bit higher in the last couple of days, but the market went down. So now just to discuss a few really cool features of Passiv. So Passiv is a nice little tool which you could connect your broker to, your accounts to, and this is a great tool, especially if you have Questrade. Because Questrade, you actually get the elite membership, which is worth $99 a year for absolutely free. But hey, if ever you want to try it out, you could always try out the free version, which is costs nothing, and you could always upgrade later. And just a quick note that I do have a referral code for 50% off the elite membership. In case you don't have Questrade, it's not free for you. You want to try the elite membership and unlock certain features, which I'm going to show you right now. You could use my referral code below and you'll get 50% off. So, you know, you could pay $50 for that year. If you don't like it, you could always cancel it, but I strongly suggest to at least try the free version. But if you do use Questrade like me, you get a free elite membership, which is really, really cool. So yeah, when it comes to passive, some of the great features that I really like and I use all the time is the reporting feature. So you could actually get a report on, you select all the accounts you want, and you could get a report on basically everything from a time you specify. So this is how I actually see how much dividends I'm getting every single month. This is what I use. So for example, let's say I want the year-to-date dividends for just my main portfolio, which is the TFSA, our two TFSAs and the joint cash account. You could do that. You click apply, and it will tell you all the dividends and all the information, everything for, you know, year to date. So you see here 11,975, and that's the data I actually use. You'll see that in a second in my Excel. But more than that, more than just reporting, you have models where you could create model portfolios, which is also pretty cool in passive. So for example, let's say you want to do a model by security or by stock. So you could do security or asset class. Asset class is pretty cool. I'll show you that in a second. It's a lot more customizable, but you could go with security, which means all your stocks will show up here. And let's say you want to have, you know, 5% in this, or you don't want to go over 3% in this, or you want to have a big chunk in BMAX, you know, 10%. You could play around with these percentages, and you hit apply. Right, you could apply this model to your main portfolio, for example, and once you're drifting away from your percentages, it will tell you and will also recommend which trades you could do to get back on track. So it's really, really cool. And you could actually do, you know, if you have connected with Questrade, you could actually do the orders here in passive, which is really, really awesome. So, you know, that's just the basic security based model. You see that here, but you could also do an asset class based model, which is pretty cool, which means you could create your own asset classes. So for example, I created a few here. So crypto, obviously I'm going to put BTCY and ETHY in there, all in one covered call ETFs. I have the big four here: H-Yield, HDIF, HDIV, and BMAX. Split share funds, you could put all your split share funds in here, and then you could actually set the percentages according to your customizable asset classes, which is, you know, pretty cool if you want to really build, if you're a lot more picky and you want to have certain constraints and really keep a close eye on your portfolio. So you could build, you know, you could use passive to create those models for you, either by the stock itself, or you could create your own asset classes. So that's pretty cool. I found that really interesting. And of course, if you want to know more information, and this is another reason why I really like Questrade, because you get the elite membership for free. So if ever you're interested in switching to Questrade, I have a $50 off referral link. Also, if you're interested in passive, I use my link below, because let's say you take the free one and you really like it, you want to try the elite one. Well, if you use my link, you'll pay $50 instead of $99. This is, of course, if you're using something else other than Questrade. So just thought I'd give you some really cool features and display those features for you. But now we will take a look at my entire portfolio breakdown of this 1.1 or just under $1.1 million portfolio. So first we're going to start with the retirement account. So we'll take a look how my RSP, my wife's RSP, and the LIRA account is doing, and then we'll take a look at the main portfolio. So as usual, we will start with the RSP, or the retirement accounts rather, first, which is composed of three accounts: my RSP, my wife's RSP, and my LIRA. Some big changes to report here, guys. First thing you'll notice is some are highlighted in gold and in bold. I'm just trying to show you guys which positions I feel are core positions versus non-core, or, you know, secondary positions. So let's check out the changes here. So if you click on RSP tracker, made a lot of changes, some big updates here in this month. So first thing I did is finally sold off my QYLD in my wife's account. You'll see that QYLD is no longer here, and swapped it all into HYILD.U. Of course, we know that QYLD is already in HYILD.U, and I actually got a good timing on it, believe it or not. I think I swapped it when QYLD was 17 or a little over 17, and now it dipped again. So now everything's under HYILD. in my wife's LIRA account. I also invested another chunk, or actually did my final RRSP contribution probably in my whole life, in our whole lives. And I'll discuss that a little bit more because, as you know, we are going to become Canadian non-residents, which means contributing to your RSP no longer makes sense. So that's why you have the HYLD.U. I actually contributed $11,000 Canadian, which translates to $8,000. So big investment, or big addition to HYLD.U. You could see the monthly income here, 1382. So it's going to be exciting or pretty fun to watch the monthly drips just go through and just compound interest throughout the years. It's going to be awesome. And sticking to my wife's RSP, so obviously H yield is going to be the primary position. This is on drip, by the way. The account is on drip. But RIV and RA are the secondary positions, also on drip. I especially like that RIV is going down. It's trading at a discount. Why? Because it's dripping and I'm buying cheap shares and I'm in it for the long term. RA doing fairly well. Just chugging along, just boring stuff, real assets. So I think these are nice little hedges to HYLD.U, because H yield is basically all equity, right? It's mostly just the big covered call indexes in the US, whereas RIV there's a lot of fixed income in here. It's an overall closed-end fund type of fund, which has a lot of fixed income. And then RA is for my real estate or my real assets. Sorry about that. So that's it for the wife's for Erica's RSP. I did make some changes in my RSP as well. So what I did is I got rid of my SLVO, my Credit Suisse Silver ETN, simply because it's not that I don't like it, but it's just because it wasn't really giving the high yield and consistent yield that I wanted. So I sold it off, 15K worth. I got $11,000, so I did lose capital of 4,000 on it, but I actually checked how much income I made on SLVO throughout the time I got it, and it's like $6,000 or $7,000. So I actually made money on it if you calculate all the income. This is why I keep saying, guys, the income, you got to focus on that too, right? So I actually made money on SLVO, all things considering. But I didn't unlock $11,000. What did I put it in? Well, I put it in 5,000 in USOI, which is a similar fund but on oil, because number one, it had a monster dividend this month of $3.33. So I wanted to capture that. So it turns out that this month my USOI dividend will be $550, which is absolutely incredible. So I put 5K in that, and the rest in HYGW, which is definitely an up and comer in my portfolio here, and I am going to consider this a core position going forward. So my 4 core positions is going to be CLM, which is kind of an overall US mostly equity option. I think of it kind of like an S&P 500. That's what they compare it to. That's the composition is similar. SVOL, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. The epitome of consistency. I couldn't be happier with this one, which is I'll consider as an alternative, right? It's just VIX income. I got a video on that. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. CEFD is my all-in-one closed-end fund solution, kind of like RIV in my in Erica's RSP. And then you have, then you have this one here, which is my pure fixed income. It's just corporate bonds with covered calls, and it's been performing phenomenally well. Great. I'm very impressed with the high dividend yield. They do at the money calls on this, so you're pretty much giving up all the upside of corporate bonds to get these massive yields. And I have to say, I think I'm going to keep investing in this one. So these are definitely, I would consider them my 4 core positions. Everything else is secondary, and I could play around with them. They're on the chopping block. I could swap them out. Remember, my RSP, guys, do not follow this. This is my YOLO, or my fun account, because my main portfolio I think is pretty boring. So I gotta try to have some fun somewhere, right? So if you go back to the RSP tracker here, that's pretty much all I did. I also did trim a little bit my Ether position, so from 20K to 15K, and of course it was really too good to be true and too tempting. I did put 5,000 in OARC, which is a brand new yield maximizer ETF that just came out in the States. Here it is right here. Yield Max Innovation Option Income Strategy ETF. So what they do is they write synthetic covered calls on Cathie Wood's ARC ETF, and the yields look absolutely phenomenal. Over 50% yields. Will it last? Will they fluctuate? I don't know. They will probably fluctuate, but these guys have a really unique strategy, and I'm happy to announce that I have made contact with the manager of these ETFs, and guess what? He's coming on the channel to discuss these ETFs in detail. So get ready for a Yield Max Innovation ETF video. I'll go through them in detail and I'll actually interview and talk to the guy who's managing these ETFs. Because right now there's a Tesla one, there's an OARC, but there's a lot more coming from the prospectus that I read. So there's 15 total. So only 2 out of the 15 are out. So very, very exciting stuff. Again, secondary positions, USOI. I don't think I'll add ever more, never say never, than 15K. I kind of want to cap my secondary positions at 15K. I kind of see these secondary positions as feeders or high yield feeders to my primary or core positions, if that makes sense. So USOI, just phenomenal yield. Don't forget that these dividends, because they fluctuate so much, this is just the average of the last 3 distributions. Orc still my biggest underperformer, but hey, their dividend has remained fairly stable at 16 cents a month or $1.92, and I'm still making just under 8%. Not so bad, but I'm still down more than 50% on this one. This I would definitely consider selling off, but not at this loss. ETHY, I'm a bit disappointed in the crypto ones, in the purpose ones, because I thought they would increase their dividend, but they haven't. But I'm making 8.75 in this one, a lot better rather than the ones in my main portfolio, which I'll show you in a second. So this one, of course, is it's always on the chopping block. Any of the secondary positions are. Remember, my focus with my RSP is just to maximize yield. BDCX, a 10K position here. Have no complaints with this one. It's been very stable, over 15% yield, and of course the addition of OARC, which is very exciting. I started out with 5K. Of course, I got the timing bad because Cathie Wood's ETF went down the last couple of days. I think now it's like $16. So, but anyway, still with this book price, within only 2 dividends are out. So this is the average. So one I think is $1.09 and the other one was $1 or something like that. So really, really phenomenal yield. So overall, my yield is over 16%. Couldn't be happier. Another thing that helped me this month to increase the jump in income is the dollar. The dollar is getting weaker, which helps me here because this is US dollars and I look at everything or show everything in Canadian dollars. So 135. Oil prices goes down, the Canadian dollar gets weaker, so this also helped me. And then there's the LIRA. I have a small LIRA where I just went YOLO on the Bitcoin, which it's recovered a little bit, but I'm still down heavily. This is also dripping away. So all in all, my total monthly income in Canadian dollars is 58.73. So now let's check out my main portfolio. All right, main portfolio, lots of changes, a significant change this month, everyone. And again, I highlighted in gold what I feel are my core positions or my focus here on the main portfolio. And of course, remember, main portfolio are 2 TFSAs and joint cash account together. So what are the changes? Well, the big change that I did is I did decide to trim heavily the GDV split share fund. So I had 65K invested and I trimmed it $40,000 and now GDV is at 25K. I actually got I got good timing on it. There's quite a few factors that why I decided to do this. You might be wondering, well, hey Adrian, you always say GDV is one of your favorite split funds. What the heck are you doing? That's true, but keep in mind I'm always looking to streamline and optimize. So the biggest factor was definitely because GDV was trading at such a humongous premium. I knew an overnight offering was coming. I was right, and I basically sold most of it, I think at $11. So I actually, since my book cost is $11.34, I actually took a small loss on it, believe it or not, which doesn't really bother me. And just to show you that I'm not cheating, I did record the capital loss in the 2023 capital gains section here, just to show you that I'm not cheating here. Of course, I would never do that. But why did I trim GDV? Well, the number one reason was really because I wanted to swap it into BMAX, the Brompton enhanced multi-asset, the all-in-one from Brompton, which has already the BDIV. So BDIV is basically the equivalent of GDV in covered call ETF form, but because BMAX has leverage, it's kind of like you have GDV in there. But what happened was, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. You might be wondering, well, if you sold 40K, why did you only put 10K in BMAX? Well, what happened was I put 10K BMAX, but then I saw RS was really attractive. And I said, well, heck, I'm going to put 10K in RS out of that 40K. And then HMAX came out and that was attractive. So I put 10K in HMAX, and then HYLD I wanted to average down, and I put the rest in HYLD. So it ended up being 10K, 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 and then about 8,000 or almost 9,000 was left over because, you know, I sold 40K worth, but I got about 38,800 worth if you include take into account that $1,200 loss. And I put the rest in HYLD, H yield, just because it was very attractive. And additionally, that month I invested more in H yield. I'm dollar cost averaging it, and I also put some in HDIF, which I am also dollar cost averaging. So I will come out with a video soon to try to give you my thought process on how do I decide every month what the dollar cost average down, because as you know, I'm a big proponent of investing regularly over time. But what should I invest in? H yield or HDIV or HDIF or BMAX? So what's my thought process? I'm gonna give you a video that discusses my mindset behind this. So that's basically the moves I did. So we'll take a look at the totals later. Let's go through the entire portfolio one at a time like I normally do. So of course, the first four are the big four, right? The all-in-one leverage covered call solution. So we have HYLD and HDIV from Hamilton. So HYLD has the top 5 covered call ETFs on the US. Amazing, phenomenal fund. My biggest position, and you know, it's my biggest position for a reason. I really feel strongly about this composition and the goal of what this fund is really trying to do. And get ready for a HYLD 1-year anniversary video coming up soon, by the way. So my book cost, even though I keep averaging it down, is still a little over $14. So I'm just waiting to cross that 12% yield mark, guys. I know many of you have a much lower book cost than me, and I say congratulations, that's great. But I think I would always invest a couple of grand in HYLD every single month. I mean, it's an awesome fund, but I'm getting really close to that $14 mark, which is easier to get now because it just dropped. While I'm making this video under 12. So the next run, I'll probably get the 12% yield here. So HDIV as well, it is dipping a little bit, mostly because of the oil price pressure that we're getting, because it's very heavy on energy, right? It has NXF. So HDIV is a little bit more Canadian oriented. And as we know, they work really well together. HDIF, my third biggest position in my portfolio. So I absolutely love HDIF. It combines the Harvest covered call ETFs. You got the 6 of them there. You got healthcare, brands, technology, utilities, US banks, and Canadian dividend stocks. A really nice mix. So I averaged down to 930. So I'm making over 9.10% yield now. I'm at 913. So I'm in the nines for HDIV, and BMAX, which I'm happy with. And I'll get to 12 probably by next month, guys, for H yield. HMAX. So of course I added 10 grand here, from the GDV sale. They confirmed their dividend at 18.5 cents monthly, which is $2.22. So I'm making a phenomenal yield at 13.70. I caught it at 16.21. I think it might be even lower than that now. The biggest drag on my portfolio overall is still and definitely is my 2 crypto ETFs, BTCY, ETHY, which I have a goal to never make more than 10% of my portfolio. And right now they're pretty much there. They're at 10.08%. So that's why I put it in green here. It's close enough for me. So although the good news is that the crypto did recover a little bit, but unfortunately I was actually very disappointed that the dividends did not increase. I thought they would increase, but my only assumption with that is that they're writing less calls because they think the price is going to go up. Remember, if the price is low, there's more of a chance that it's going to go up. So I'm pretty sure they're writing maybe less covered calls on it, which is okay. I'm still a buy and hold investor. I'm in it for the long term, but as you could see from these ugly yields, and these are definitely the biggest drag on my portfolio when it comes to not only the capital, the value, which I'll discuss here in a second, but also the yield. What's doing phenomenal is this YTSL, which is the Purpose Tesla Yield Shares. I only have 5K worth, but I got it at 14, and I think it's $22 or $23. So I'm making a really nice yield of 26%. Definitely the highest yield out of everything. Really fun and cool. And the third dividend was confirmed, the same one. So 30 cents a month, a little over that. So it's pretty cool. So these are my ETFs, guys, which make up 56% of my portfolio and 50% of my overall income. Now let's get into the closed-end funds, which includes EIT and all my split share funds. So of course, EIT is another core position. It's doing phenomenally well. I have it at 1065. I haven't added any to this in a while, simply because my book price is 1065 and right now it's $13. So remember, when I'm deciding what the dollar cost average, I definitely look at the book price and try to dollar cost average something that's higher. that my book price is higher than the current price. So that's why I haven't been adding too much to EIT. DFN, FTN, my two quadravest split share funds, no problems here. So DFN is your overall, 15 Canadian dividend stocks. FTN, which, I think has a pretty decent value right now if you compare the NAV to the market price. And I think I was right because FTN is starting to go up and recover, but I have a fairly high book cost here. But I don't think I will add more to FTN because, it's a secondary position, not a core position. And, I want to keep my, split share funds between 20 and 30,000 max, I think, going forward, but we'll see what happens. LBS, SBC, the Brompton financial specific or Canadian financial specific funds, just chugging along, doing really, really well. LBS, very, very attractive right now. If you check out the NAV compared to the market price. Of course, I'm going to discuss this in my picks of the month for March video. DGS, unfortunately, did just barely missed the dividend, so I will not be getting that $306.50 in March, unfortunately. But you got to expect that with DGS. It's really not a big deal. And of course, GDV, which by the way is still one of my favorite split share funds, but is massively reduced from 65K exposure to 25K exposure. So you guys could see really what's happening, right? My split share funds are becoming more secondary positions, not core positions. ENS doing really well. They renewed the fund, and stay tuned for a great interview with Dino Rico, who is the president and CEO of Middlefield, where we will talk about ENS, but mostly RS and real estate in Canada. Get ready for a great interview. It should be up in the next couple of weeks here. RS, I did add 10K. RS, as you know, is my go-to for real estate. I love real estate. I strongly believe in it. I don't own any, so RS is where I have put my real estate exposure. And one of my goals is to always have at least 10% in real estate. Right now I'm at 12, so that's good. So RS is my second biggest position after HYLD. So there you have it, guys. That is the portfolio unveil. Let's quickly look at my numbers here. So right now I am making, my passive income is 63.9620. Of course, this it includes if DGS pays out, so it's $300 less than that in March. My overall yield is 10.90, so getting close to that 11% mark. I always want to have at least over 10% yield as one of my objectives here. So yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I am down overall. If you look at the capital, I'm down 6.58%, which is pretty much nothing. I really couldn't care less about this. And again, the biggest drag is pretty much the crypto ones. The crypto one is definitely the biggest drag on the difference between my book cost, how much I invested, and what my current portfolio value is, which I got from Passiv. This is the current portfolio value from my main portfolio there. So total income received. This is just a total of all the passive income I got throughout the years, guys. I already explained this a million times. So my total income or dividends for 2023, so just January and February dividends, is just under $12,000. But if you count that GDV loss of very, very small, I'm $10,700 of profit for 2023. So my overall return, if all is sold, what does this number mean? Well, it means that if I sold everything and realized this 658,000 plus all the capital gains and income that I receive, which is this, I would make an overall profit of almost 40%. So I am completely up. I am in the green. I know I get a lot of criticism about how I calculate this thing, but hey, I'm only looking at real numbers, guys. Realized numbers, not unrealized. So don't forget that. What really counts is reality, not fantasy, if you ask me. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So my total profit, which I consider all my realized income and realized capital gains that I've made, is over, just under 328,000 since 2012. So that is the portfolio in a nutshell, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and we're gonna do this again next month. Follow my journey we're all in it together. Hey, don't go yet. I have some important reminders, including some more recent ones, and I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And for everything that I'm about to discuss, the links and info are in the video description below. So first of all, if you didn't know yet, I do offer a one-on-one coaching session where you'll have a 1-hour Zoom call with me where you could ask me all the questions you want, and I'll help you and assist you best I can. Just remember that I am not a licensed or registered financial advisor or planner. So to book a session, go on my website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, and right there on the homepage on the left-hand side, there is a small video. Watch that video to know how to book a one-on-one properly with yours truly. Also on my website, you could purchase my digital product, the Ultimate DIY Investing Package, which is on version 4 right now. It comes with lifetime updates, so you only have to buy it once. And this is really a reference tool or a companion tool to help you build your own portfolio according to your needs and your objectives. It has lists of funds. It has sample portfolios for both Canadian investors and American investors. So make sure to check it out on my website. I actually created a video which shows the product from A to Z because I don't want you to spend money unless you know exactly what you're getting. So make sure to check that video out on my website. And don't take my word for how good it is. Check out the reviews. There's over 300 of them and they are all 100% real reviews. So here's some more updated news or recent news. I am now on Blossom, a new investing app designed for investors. I've been using it for a few weeks now. I think it's really, really great. It has a really cool feature where users could actually add and share their portfolios and what they're buying and selling every day. So you could actually link your investing account so it's updated automatically on a daily basis. I recently added my own main portfolio so you could follow how my portfolio is doing live and what I buy every month. Really, really cool. It's like a mix of Facebook and Twitter, but specifically for investing. So get on your phone, click on the link in the video description below and download the app. It's 100% free, so you too could share your portfolio. Just remember to look for me and follow me. My username is Adrian, PII altogether. Also, I do have a referral link for Questrade, so you could get $50 worth of free stock purchases. This is the Canadian discount broker that I use and I recommend. Unlike Wealthsimple, the other popular discount broker in Canada, you could drip everything you want. It has all the stocks and it also has dual currency accounts. Very, very convenient if you're buying both Canadian stocks and American stocks. I have a Questrade video, by the way, which gives you a little tour of the features, so make sure to check that out. I also have a referral link for Passiv. This is the portfolio tracking tool that I use to consolidate all our accounts to get a nice bird's eye view, so you can consolidate all the information together for easy tracking and stats as well. Also, our Facebook group, Passive Income Investing, is now an invite-only private group. So to join it, you need to click on the link in the video description below and give the group a like to get invited. So we take pride in making this one of the best investing Facebook groups out there with over 13,000 members. There's no scams, there's no spammers, and negative and doomsday people, we kick them out right away. Also, follow us on Instagram if you want a little bit more of our personal journey here in Panama. And lastly, just remember everyone, I am not a licensed or registered financial advisor. This channel is all about my personal investing journey and how I invest to generate high passive income from a diversified portfolio of high yield funds. It's for educational purposes only, so don't forget to do your own research and due diligence. And of course, stay safe everyone, stay healthy, and of course, stay passive. See you next time.